Right, thank you so much for joining me. You've got a massive fight coming up this weekend, Oktagon 50. I think we're all looking forward to it. But first things first, I want to roll back the years a little bit, get to know you. And I know you were in the old school roughhouse in Nottingham with the likes of Ross Pearson, Dan Hardy, Paul Daly. You must have some fantastic memories of that time period.
To be honest with you, when I was that time period for me was the worst but best time of my career. When I joined Roughhouse, I was 15, going on 16. At that time there, I was still doing Thai boxing, so I was still in my amateur Thai boxing career. So when I was training with those guys, I think they were in their prime. So you got Jimmy Warlord, Andre Winner, Matt Howard, Matt Hallam, Dan Hardy, Paul Daly, Ross Pearson. We even had Gustafsson over here at one point. So with that, so I've been sparring and training with nothing but monsters since I was a kid at the end of the day. So rough ass days were horrible and not for the faint hearted at all. I told you that.
I can imagine, and I suppose that's probably what's given you your love of violence. I was watching you in an Octagon promotional video the other day, and you must have said violence quite a few times. That must be where it comes from, right?
It is literally that. Thursdays, to be fair, it's my whole team. My coach has just bred me into do nothing but do or die in the ring or cage. Same with the rough house lot. So violence is what I do. That's my style. That's always my aim to be able to entertain the fans. I think a lot of fighters forget that we're to entertain. Yes, we want to get the W's at the end of the day, but sometimes a lot of guys forget to entertain the fans as well. For me, I'm here to just be violent and just win the crowd at the end of the day. We're modern day gladiators, so this is what we have to do. We're here to put on walls at the end of the day.
I mean, you've been winning over crowds internationally for a very long time, and I wondered if you could tell me a little bit about winning the Glory 8-man Road to Glory tournament, because that must be in your career a sensational moment for you.
For me, it was crazy, especially because it was a weight category that was like 3 weights above me at the time. Again, I was fighting at 72 kilos at that point in there. I was supposed to fight at 70, and before you know what, it was a favor we did. We saw, you know what, let's jump in. There's nothing to win, nothing to lose. At the end of the day, it's not my division. I'm never gonna be a middleweight, so why not let's just jump into it? And the fact that I managed to stop two of them and get a split decision over one of them was just crazy. The first guy I fought in the tournament he was the top seed. He was meant to be the one that's going to win it, apparently, you know what I mean? And the fact that I stopped him in a minute and a half was just crazy. So after that first fight, I went back to the change rooms on a massive buzz, massive highs, as you can expect. So it was just a crazy feeling. And then winning the second one and then going into the final fight, oh mate, it was emotional. I cannot. So for me right now, that's been my highlight of my career, whether that be Thai boxing, K1, and MMA. That's for me, that's been my biggest achievement ever. To win the 8-man tournament in a division that was nowhere near my weight category. At the end of the day, when I jumped on the scales there, I was 80 kilos at the time, max. Those guys were 85, and they had to cut to that. I just stood on the scales, tracksuit on, just 80 kilos, and I managed to go through it. So for me, it was a big achievement. I made myself happy, my team happy, and my family happy.
I think that's exactly what you're about, right? Because you're a bit of a risk taker. You've just proven it there. And you're diving straight into the top 10 at Octagon 50, taking on a good opponent who's been in with the likes of David Cosma. He's beaten Christian Youngworth. This is what you're about, these sort of risks. And this must be a massive opportunity for you.
For me, I think it's a massive opportunity. I don't really care about the risk. Yes, he's a good opponent. He's been in with certain guys and whatnot, but I don't really care. At the end of the day, he's never been in with a striker like me. He's never fought anyone like me who doesn't take a step back. He's never been in, and I've fought someone that kicks as hard as me. So for me, I've got a lot to gain. He's got more to lose than I have to lose at the end of the day. He's the big name in this promotion. I'm just a debut guy. I just said, you know what, okay, give me whoever you want. And the fact that they've given me this top 10 guy, if I can go in there and breeze this guy, I'm gonna make a lot of noise. You know, so for me, that's the plan. At the end of the day, if you want to prove you're the best, you have to just take the test, and that's what I'm doing. So I need to just go in there, prove who I am, showcase my skill set, show how violent I can be, and that's it. Win the crowd again.
Win the crowd again. I like to hear that. Obviously, you're putting in the nails in training camp. You're working alongside two fantastic fighters, right? We've got Leon Edwards, a UFC world champion, and you've gone around the world in kickboxing, in MMA, but I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to train with an actual Jedi before in the form of Akon Wanless. So what's it like to work with these two guys?
Leon his big bro. You know what I mean? They've him, everyone at Renegade take him under wing. You know, so they're big brothers to me. Leon, Fabian, Edwards. You know what I mean? The whole team. Akon, he's just a I can't explain himself at the end of the day. So he's another one of my brothers, man. You know, he's a crazy character. It works for him. It sells for him. He understands how to build a brand. You know, so for me, I'm up for him, and I hope that who knows, man, you could see him in a Star Wars or whatever in the future. End of the day, he's got the abs for it. He's got the pretty face for it. Why not, man? So yeah, again, I've got a good team around me, both here in Nottingham and there in Birmingham. So sky's the limit, man. You know, I'm around Leon, who's UFC world champion. At the end of the day, that's the top of the top. That's the creme de la creme. That's where most MMA guys want to be. And for me to be able to be under his wing and whatnot, it's a good opportunity, man. So you got to take nothing but good knowledge from that.
It's going to be amazing for us all to watch what you've learned from him. And it turns out you're a multi-talented guy because we know that you're good at kickboxing. We know that you're fantastic at MMA, but you've also got some talent in the kitchen because you're a bit of a decent chef, are you? Can you tell me what your favourite dish is, your signature?
You see, me, as I am Jamaican and St. Lucian by heritage, obviously all my food is Caribbean cuisine and whatnot. So I don't really have a specific dish. If you if you told me you want this, let's say you want curry chicken, you want brown stew chicken, you want curry goat and rice, you want oxtail, you got it. So when it comes to the cuisine, I'm the man. So aside from being violent and brutal in the ring and the cage, if you want me to just, you know what I mean, give you a little 10 out of 10 dish in the kitchen, I got it. You know what I mean? So outside of fighting, cooking is my hobby. You know, it's one of my things where I've always been passionate about. I got taught to cook when I was 11 years old, you know, by my mom and whatnot. So for me, it's you have to know how to cook as an athlete. You can't just depend on people to cook for you. Yes, it's good to have nutritionists, but outside the camp, you want to be able to just, yeah, let me try this. Let me just add this to this thing. Let me take this away, add this in. So for me, it's a good passion.
Absolutely. And hopefully, after you get the victory, to sort of make things a little bit better for your opponent who'll have just been beat, maybe you can cook him a dish of your own.
Listen, once I take his legs off, man, he can have whatever he wants. You know what I mean? That's the first thing to just go there, just stand in the middle and take his legs off at the end of the day. If he wants to wrestle, we can wrestle. No, 9 to 10, he's going to underestimate my wrestling. But we'll see. You know, like I said, I can't wait for it. This is the biggest platform I've been on. You know, there's going to be about 15,000 people that I've never fought in an arena outside before. So I'm very happy to just go there, perform, and just do nothing but bring violence and more violence at the end of the day. Literally, that's what it is. That's what it's about. I'm here to just be violent in the cage, just do nothing but fight and do or die, you know, and that's it.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. I can't wait to watch the violence that you're going to unleash in Austria. And hopefully you can tell me exactly what celebratory dish you're going to cook up for yourself, because I'm looking forward to hearing what that's going to be. But before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Tune in December 9th on Channel 4, The Zone, or Oktagon TV, and watch me, Ammari Diedrick, bring nothing but violence, and more violence. There we go.